Move the agenda.
Thank you, sir. All right, in preparation for our vote on the budget that's coming up, we are going to offer an in-person public input session. And for that, I'm going to turn the chair over to our committee chair, Councilwoman Carol Burrs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So tonight, we're going to have follow-up input. This afternoon, we did it by Zoom for all the people that wanted to join us by Zoom. Tonight, it's all public input in person. You each will have 2 minutes to speak. I cannot time because my queue is currently disabled. So if somebody could, you got it now? I need the timer up and somebody's mic is working. Okay. If I could have the timer up here now, please. All right, thank you so much. So I do want to tell you that we received all the letters from SEIU and thank you very much. They were very informative. I understand there are a few of you who want to speak again as well, and that's fine. We have a number of people here who want to speak, so let's respect their time. Once we have all the input, and this is to the council, it's my obligation to ask you if you're ready to take the first vote next week, and we will vote on the record for that. If not, then we'll have to figure out what else we're going to do. But for the record, I have to say, yes, you're ready to vote. And at least 5 of you need to be ready to vote. Thank you very much. Okay,
Councilwoman,
sure.
and I don't remember if you added this or not, but we did in our rules say that you could only speak once a day
Sure.
on the budget item. So
Sure.
if you did speak at the 3 o'clock, then you wouldn't be permitted to
If you
speak.
were somehow on Zoom at 3 o'clock, which I don't think any of you were, but if you were, then obviously you've already spoken once. And now let's get to the in-person 2 minutes. We'd like your input. Would you please identify yourself and what district you live in? My colleagues have asked that you also add that. Thank you very much.
I'm Stephen Russell. I'm in District 3, I'm sorry. I've come to deliver not only letters that I guess electronically were sent, but also some more came as, and they were all from employees supporting the budget for the mayor. Someone.
If you'll just leave them up there on the
Sure.
table, we can add them.
Sure. Sounds good.
Thank you.
I just wanted to address the council for a minute and just to say that this budget will go a long way in answering the need to obtain new employees in critical jobs that are currently unfulfilled, as well as retaining experienced employees for many critical and essential jobs throughout the city. It includes not only we have a lot of shortages at the Moccasin Bend wastewater treatment plant, but we're also one of the things we're proud of is the increase in pay for Head Start workers, which they do such critical work, and it doesn't recognize fully what we think they need to be paid, but it certainly goes a long way. I want to thank Mayor Kelly for proposing such a bold budget, as well as the members of his staff for the many weeks and months of tireless effort in proposing his budget. I also want to thank the city council for its efforts during the transition period through the new administration, as well as all the work through the COVID pandemic. I'm confident that we will come out of this time a stronger city and one with renewed purpose and one filled with love and justice for our fellow Chattanooggans. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Robert Ledford. I live at 3761 Cuswell Trail, Chattanooga. I'm the chief steward of the SEIU Local 205 for the city workers. And I'm here today to ask you or tell you why we need pay raises. As most of you know, those of you who have been on the city council for a while and the new members that's come in, if you've seen our pay scale, you know why we need a raise. Most of you do not remember, but if you think about it, when Johnny Kinsey was here, Mayor Johnny Kinsey, we got a 5% raise. We got a step raise, 2%, and a cost of living 3%. Then came Bob Corker, Mayor Bob Corker. He cut out the step raise and left us with a cost of living raise of 2 to 3% if we got that. Then came Mayor Lovefield. He cut out most of the cost of the living. And then from that time on, we was at the mercy of the mayor's office, whatever they wanted to give us. And as you know, our counterparts kept moving ahead of us as there was a time or two there we didn't get a raise. Now, Mayor Tim Callie's come along. We have hopes that he's going to help us get our pay scale up to par. This will be a good start to get us going, but it's still a long way from where we need to be. But we want to thank him for what he is doing. You know, a lot of our brothers and sisters in our union and our employees.
We're getting some feedback.
They have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to make a living. And that's a shame on city workers that they have to work 2 or 3 jobs. We should make enough money on one job just to be able to support our family. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Robert. Good evening.
Hi, I just need to move that down a little bit. My name is Serena Keffer. I'm in District 8. So thank you, City Council members. I'm here today as a union member and then also a city employee of the city's Homeless Services Division to speak about the proposed budgets for city employees. I urge you to see how truly important it is for the raises of city employees included in this budget. These raises will allow city employees more time with their families, less stress financially, to feel more established in their careers that they have with this city, and so much more. Many, including myself, have second jobs as city employees and do other things to obtain money, such as giving plasma. I personally, myself, go and I give plasma. And while it's great to donate, I shouldn't have to do that to make up for my income to pay for my bills. And to continue to work on my debt as a recent college graduate that moved to Chattanooga to do this job. As for me and my department specifically, I really urge you to look at these numbers again. From what we have seen specifically, our increases in wages don't match what we are told we're worth to this city. We're consistently told how important our department is and how our work is so crucial and important to the city of Chattanooga and its homeless scene here. And so I feel that many of you, including yourself, have made referrals to our office and to our team because of the homelessness issue in each of your districts. Our job is an 8 to 5 and our passion and care are not, though. Many of us have passions for this field that have led to these degrees and then to this work that at least need a bachelor's degree for these jobs. And many of us have obtained more to do the work we do, to be making under livable wages with these raises. Even so, I feel like is a disgrace to our field, to the work we do, to the city, and to our clients we help. When our college financial debt is more than our salary, there's a serious issue at hand. If our work is as important as you say it is, and as City Hall makes it to be to our department,
And
please
ma'am,
pay-
your time is up.
please
Thank
pay
you
us
very
what we are
much.
worth and what our knowledge is worth to you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Blondell Garner. I stay in District 3 and my department is Head Start. And this is to the members of City Council. I, Blondell Garner, a teacher assistant at Head Start, would like to encourage you to all consider raises for the teacher and teacher assistants, as well as the early staff members at Head Start. The raises would help with much needed income for those with families and children to lift them up on their pay scale so they would not have to work 2 or 3 jobs. Head Start is the lowest paid of all city workers. Because we're federally funded and our small raises come from what's left over, this year we will only get 1.8% raises, which isn't much, and it's not enough to live on. I ask that you increase wages for me and my coworkers. We deserve it and much more. Our families and children deserve well-qualified and well-paid staff as well. I'm a member of SEIU Local 205, strong members, strong workers, working together to improve local workers' lives. Sincerely, Blondell Garner, union member, city worker.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Officer Madison. I currently reside in District 1. I patrol in North Chattanooga and Hickson, really anything north of the river. At the last city council meeting, many officers spoke about the importance of recruiting and retaining young officers. I'm an example of the subject matter. I am currently 22 years old and the youngest officer on the street right now. My wife and I just had a baby and she has decided to stay at home. So we're on just one income. Right now, we're making it. We pay our bills. However, we still collect WIC and receive food from churches and food banks. I would prefer not to have to do that. However, in order to make ends meet, we're doing what we can. I also work overtime and other side jobs, provide for my family. And honestly, to a young officer like me, going to another department sounds somewhat enticing. Let me give you some more context. I am a multilingual, college-educated 22-year-old officer. I fluently speak Spanish and French and English, obviously. And I know some Portuguese. So I'm able to assist Chattanooga's growing Spanish-speaking community. I work second shift for the Group B OFDA group, and I'm the only Spanish-speaking officer working on patrol in the city on my entire OFDA group from what I know. Therefore, if an incident occurs in which a victim speaks Spanish, I am the only police officer available to interpret for him. And many of these events are life-changing events, such as robbery, domestic assault, auto theft. Henceforth, I frequently go across the city, Brainerd, East Chattanooga, Ooltewah, wherever to assist these calls. If I were to leave, we would be leaving the thousands of Spanish speakers in town without a voice inside the police department on the Group B OFDA group evening shift. I do not wish to do this. However, I also wish to provide for my family. Nashville Metro PD would pay me, a bilingual college grad with a post certification, approximately $58,000 starting out. I want to stay in the city that I love, serving the people that also love the city through an outstanding police department.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
How y'all doing? Ladies and gentlemen, City Council, my name is Firefighter Jay Case. I live at 362 Carnation Street, District 1. I am a city resident. I'm a city taxpayer. I'm also a fourth generation firefighter of this department. My family has worked here since 1928. I have been here since 2006. All that being said, I had a pretty good idea what I was getting into when I took this job 15 years ago. I knew the pay wasn't going to make me rich, but I knew I'd be serving the city, helping others, and the benefits weren't bad. I also knew that there would be a time you might have to do a second job. And with the salary at the time of $28,500, it became a necessity. Fast forward 15 years, and it's still a necessity. We work 60 hours a week for the fire department. Then I work a minimum of 30 hours a week on my second job. That's a lot of time to be away from your family and friends every week. My second job was collective of 4 or 5 other firefighters who are members of this union and this department. We decided to work for ourselves and work together because we all understand the strains of our primary job. After only 15 years on the job, I only make about $11,000 more than when I started. That's the problem. Our department can't keep staffing. We can't hire get people to hire. All this goes back to money. Our pay scale now has become shameful at times and laughing stock to other departments around us that don't even come close to call volume experience level that we have. I have personally helped on half of y'all's campaign over the years, whether knocking on doors, putting out signs, hanging signs, or anything else for the campaign. In one day of hopes to better this department and our firefighters. Well, today is the day. Pass this budget and improve these city employees' lives.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Amy Blazek. My husband is the fire captain on Station 6 Blue Shift. He's working this evening. And I'm a very proud wife of a man
Where
who's
do you
worked.
live, ma'am?
I do not live in the city.
That's okay.
I live in Hickson.
Okay.
I work for Hamilton County Schools. I'm a school counselor. My husband, like I said, is a captain for the fire department and has been so for 15 years. Some of the best 15 years of his life and mine. We are the proud parents of 4 little girls. Our oldest is 13. And when she asked me where I was going tonight, and I told her, she said, "Mama, tell them how important this is for our family." So that's why I'm here. So for those 15 years, we've had kids who were under the age of being in school. And so we had a tough decision. And so my husband, it meant as much to him to serve his city as to serve our family. And so he has not had the opportunity to work a second job that he's been paid for, but he has raised 4 beautiful, intelligent, wise young ladies as his second job that goes unpaid financially. The only way we were able to do that was because I work as well. We wouldn't change anything, but we'd change our future to where we could provide for our children and we could set money aside because we have not been able to for the past 15 years. We use every dime that he earns and I earn. The biggest thing I want you to know is that my children have the same heart as my husband and they want to serve. They want to serve others. And what breaks my heart is that I have to look at them and tell them that that's a really big choice, whether they're going to slave away the rest of their life making dimes, or whether they're going to passionately serve with the heart God gave them for their community. And that's what they want to do. And that's what I want them to do. But I have a hard time looking them in the eye and telling them they're going to be okay doing that.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, it's okay. Amanda Horner, captain of the fire department. I live in East Ridge. Not sure how to follow either one of those two, but I'm just going to speak from my experience. I've got 16 years in. The last 5 have been as a captain, and the last 2 is the only time I've been able to stop working 2 jobs on top of the fire department. And that is because my partner was able to get a raise. I've seen 3 guys out of my own truck leave in the last 4 years, all with under 5 years, because they couldn't make it on the pay. They either had kids, they start young and they decide to have a family and they can't make it. I came in at 27,000 and they're just now up to what, 32. So it's just really difficult for you to provide for your family or do anything extra on what we make. My experience personally is started single, worked all the time, got foster kids. And then I worked even more because I wanted to provide for them even more. At this point, I don't have any, so I'm able to relax a little bit, but that's only because I have help. If it was just me by myself, there's no way I would be able to even be here tonight because I'd be working somewhere on top of my full-time job. So I really appreciate y'all's time and considering this budget. As a city, we're all underpaid and need the help. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, we missed what district you live in? Okay, thank you.
Sam Kabasovich, District 3. It's good to see y'all again. I came to y'all a few months back, and of course, everybody knows it's budget time, and I explained to y'all how shorthanded all of our crews have been down at Public Works and in every department. But I'm here on a good note tonight. Things seem to be going, the news has gotten out about the city's going to get some raises and this and that. So we've had a few people apply for some jobs. So that's a good start. Of course, we know that we've got to have this large budget passed in order to, take care of the firemen, policemen, and Public Works. So I'm just, again, want to, y'all said you all was behind us 100%, and I hope y'all do the right thing and vote this large budget in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Mark Kaufman. I live in District 1 with Jake. I'm a 12-year veteran with the Chattanooga Fire Department as an engineer. My story is a little different than a lot of people. I left a very lucrative career to become a firefighter. It was my dream to do it. So I made the choice to take a huge pay cut to come to be a firefighter to serve our community. Upon doing that, I still didn't envision working 90 hours a week. I'm fortunately married to a very beautiful nurse practitioner who helps provide things for our family. So I'm here to represent the people who are struggling worse than I am. Though I'm capable of working 90 hours a week, and I'm very blessed to have that opportunity, it's still not an ideal situation. I got a funny story. When I was hired, my first day in the academy, Chief Flint, we were told to write our name with every letter specifically spelled correctly, right? So I didn't. Well, Chief Flint took me into his office and he said, "Mr. Kaufman, how long did it take you to get hired?" I said, 5 years. It took me 5 years to get hired in the Chattanooga Fire Department because the hiring pool was so vast. He said, "Do you want this job?" I said, "Yes, sir. I took a huge pay cut. It's my dream." He said, "Then you better do what we're telling you to do. Write your name properly." So he took a stack of envelopes folders like this, and he sat them on the table and he said, "There's 2,500 applicants that applied for your academy." He said, "You should feel blessed that you were one selected." So I do. I feel very blessed to have the opportunity to serve our community. I hope council votes this budget through, not only for myself, but for everyone in here. You look around, there's a lot of people serving this community, people that are watching on the Zoom. So that's all I have for you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
sir. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Diane Moore, and before I retired, I was in District 8. And I worked at the public library for 25 years, started out circulation, got a promotion to reference. For a few years, I was a passport facilities manager and worked reference, had as many responsibilities as anyone else, so 2 full-time jobs. Then they created the position. I love my job. I don't regret a day. I never had bad feelings about going to work, but I also had to do yard jobs and other things in order to make it. Never hit half mark. When I retired after 25 years, I was only making a little less than $22 an hour, which I tried not to ever look at that. I'm up at the farm now. Mom's by herself, and so we're helping up there. And I picked up My Chattanooga. My husband always gets all these free periodicals, and there was a great issue about the neighborhoods and the best things to do and the places to eat. I'm a foodie. I could tell you about great shops that I love. Sadly, I've seen some go away because of COVID. But it cracked me up when I finished because I thought, this isn't the whole story. For a lot of us who used to be able to do that when we got, better raises, now it's kind of like, okay, you take $20 of the food stamps and then I will, and we'll see what we can do to eat creatively for the week. Or, yeah, let's go for a walk because it's free. And I would really just love to see this budget pass, everyone to do better. And when people want to eat ramen, I learned how to make soy eggs myself. It took a few times. I can make darn good soy eggs, so I can make my own ramen. But I like going to the ramen shops. Please let us be able to eat ramen in the ramen shops or make our own rather than the 10 for $1 poor student food ramens. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Yes, sir.
Hi, how everybody doing? I'm in Mr. Ken's district. My name is Stephen West. And I live at 5280 Rotary Drive, Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's a lot of things about this budget I don't like personally, but I want it to pass because it's not just for me. It's for all these people that's in here. And the reason why I want it to pass is because in public works, we already, like they said, 40-some drivers down. We need drivers. Because if y'all look at y'all communities, y'all see it's trash everywhere. Wherever you look, it's brush everywhere, wherever you look. So if we have enough drivers to do garbage and brush and construction and all these other things, we'll have the city clean. And the thing about this is we are first responders just like the fire and police. Because if you think about it, when that tornado hit, we had to go out there and clean it up for them to get through so they can do their job. So, everybody love to say, hey, let's, y'all always tell us in the years past that, hey, other cities look at our city. Why don't y'all start making public works and all this other, make us first responders too. And we ain't gonna talk about, we always first responders when it's time to do the job. But whenever the money came, we weren't first responders again. We were just regular employees. And I'm not saying neither one of y'all don't care about us, because I know every one of y'all care about this city. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be up there sitting up there. But the thing about it is, you look around this room, fire, police, just regular citizens. We are regular citizens and we need a raise. And hopefully y'all pass this budget so that all of us can stop working 2 and 3 jobs. And you know, I came up here, Carol, remember, and probably Ken, and I said then, my son need help. And I'm the only one can give it to him.
Thanks, Steve.
Hello, can you hear me? My name is Patrick Kate. I'm in District 7, local. I grew up in Chattanooga. I work in homeless services, although I'm not here to speak about that. I think my colleague Serena did a great job. I'm also a steward with SEIU 205. It's part of the reason why I'm here. And I thought it behooved me to come up here and speak. I've been working with a lot with the Head Start teachers as a member of the union recently. And I know Blondell spoke as well. And I just want to raise up the voices of Head Start teachers who can't be here tonight. And so many I spoke that wanted to be here because they're taking care of their children. They're also working 2nd and 3rd jobs. And it's time that Head Start be treated as the city employees that they all are. I think Head Start employees are just as much city employees and members of this community and deserve to be compensated for the work that they do in taking care and being good stewards of young people all throughout Chattanooga. So just wanted to make sure that that message is doubly heard tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. This has been great, you all. Does anyone else want to speak? I think we've gotten the message loud and clear. Come on.
Mitchell Moss, Sergeant with Chattanooga Police Department. I live off East Brand Road. I don't know what district, sorry. I wouldn't plan on speaking. I don't have any notes, but I just want to talk something, very quickly to you from my heart. I've been here 25 years. I have struggled. My family has sacrificed for me to do this job. Working 2, 3 extra jobs, selling plasma, doing whatever I had to do to put food on the table. I've got my 25 years in, so I can retire. My concern is for the officers coming up. We are at a critical point with the loss of officers. It's getting dangerous because we don't have backup coming. It's very critical. It's not just police department, it's also the fire department. My question is for y'all, how much does it cost to pay and train an officer, to take him through and go through in-service or go through their training, and then all of a sudden, was it maybe $100,000, being conservative, and then they leave within a year or 2? That's money being lost by the city. We need to have a pay increase to maintain the officers here. It's not for me. Like I said, I got my 25, but it's for the officers coming up. We're going to lose them. And I've talked to other councilmen here. You don't have to worry about Florida or all these other places that these officers are going to leave, but you have to be competitive in our own area. We're losing people to the county, Red Bank, Saudi Daisy, East Ridge. Something to think about.
Thank you for taking time to speak. Is there anyone else? Actually, it costs a little more than $100,000. It is a big loss. But you were close. Yeah, you're doing good. All right, if there's no one else to speak, that ends our public input session. Sure, I don't have, yeah, go. Mr. Chair, pay attention.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm just curious, looking out across this room, is there anybody in attendance this evening that is not in favor of this budget? This is my 9th budget, and that is the first time I've ever been able to say that. So thank you to the mayor and to the administration and for all of you for everything you do every single day to support this city. And I'm going to be very proud to do the same.
Mr. Chair, do you have anyone else up there?
I do not see any other. lights.
Okay, then.
Oh,
As
I've
as
got one
chair-
now. I've got one now. Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to thank our committee chairperson, Dr. Burrs, for leading us through this budget session, for the wonderful job that she has in presenting and opening this up for public input, helping guide us through our questions, and being the leader that you are when it comes to the budget. I feel always capable when you're at the helm with our budget. And I just wanted to express my gratitude for your leadership in presenting this budget to us this year.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I think we're all in pretty good shape. I have to formally ask the council if they're ready for the first vote next week. So if you will call the roll, ma'am. I need 5 yeses and then it's a go for next week. So would you do that, please?
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dolly.
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Of course.
Councilman Hester. Councilman Ledford. Councilwoman Hill.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith. Chairman Henderson.
Yes.
Right, that's not.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're good to go. We're going to go to our regular agenda now, Mr. Chair. So if any of you want to take a few minutes and leave, you can. And guys and women, thank you very much.
Yeah. Once more into the breach.
He is, I know.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, man? I can understand almost everything, but I can't. That's smart. To do French music is crazy. We need to hold on to you too.
Oh, I just gave him to Councilman Coonrod.
Yeah.
You want to grab him?
Okay, I think that's just about everyone out of the room that's going to leave. So at this time, could I get a motion on the minutes, please? Got a motion on the minutes with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill.
Yes.
Councilman Ledford. Councilman Hester. Councilwoman Burrs.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dolly.
Yes.
Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
9 yeses.
the ayes have it. Moving now to ordinances on final reading. Madam Clerk, if there's no objections from the council, I'd like to take 5A and B together, please. I'm sorry? B is what?
Oh, Calico, never mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Item A, an ordinance closing and abandoning 2 sewer easements located in the 100 block of East 4th Street. Tax map numbers 135 MAB 002 and 135 MD 019 as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions. Item B, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 6102 Hickson Pike, 6106 Hickson Pike, 6108 Hickson Pike, and 6110 Hickson Pike, and for a portion of tax map numbers 101025 and 101027 from R1 residential zone to R3 residential zone, and for a portion of tax map numbers 101025 and 101027 from R1 residential zone to R1 residential zone, subject to certain conditions.
Vice Chair Smith,
Move approval.
we have a motion on the floor to approve items 5A and B with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Coonrod, Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Hester, Councilman Ledford, Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith, Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
9 yeses.
motion to approve items 5A and B carries. Moving now to planning 6A, please.
Would you like for me to read the planning version or alternate?
Alternate version. Yes, please. Alternate version.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 5217 Hunter Road and 8627 Hilltop Drive from C2 Convenience Commercial Zone and M1 Manufacturing Zone to M1 Manufacturing Zone, subject to certain conditions.
All right, this is a zoning request. Is the applicant present? Okay. Is there any opposition present? Case number 2021-0119. Councilwoman Burrs.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. If the applicant would come forward, please. And also Karen Rennick.
She's.
I see. Okay. Karen, if you would read the conditions, please.
Okay, there are 3 conditions. There shall be a side and or rear yard of not less than 30 feet along the northern property line of 8627 Hilltop Drive, where it abuts 5225 Hunter Road, tax map number 131061. Number 2, a type A landscape buffer shall be constructed along the northern property line of 8627 Hilltop Drive, where it abuts 5225 Hunter Road, tax map number 131061, except where a 30-foot vegetative buffer exists. In that case, a 30-foot vegetative buffer shall be maintained to supplement any other landscape screening required by City Code Section 38595 along the northern property line of 8627 Hilltop Drive, where it abuts 5225 Hunter Road, tax map number 131061. And number 3, no delivery truck or public access to Hunter Road.
All right, and as I told you, I'm adding a 4th condition, and that is the approval of the site is tied to the site plan you sent me. No variance from the site plan. Will you come to the mic and just agree to all that on record?
Yes, ma'am.
You agree to all 4 conditions?
If that's the conditions, and again, I don't have the paperwork with me. If that's the ones that we discussed.
Same one that we exchanged with you.
The same thing that we've done already.
Yes, yeah,
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
only thing I added was that it's going to be tied to the
We
site
go
plan.
with the site plan.
You're-
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
I move approval, sir.
Well, we have a motion on the floor to approve item 6A with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Hester, Councilwoman Burrs, Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod, Vice Chairman Smith, Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
9 yeses.
so moved. Moving now to resolutions. Madam Clerk, if there are no objections from the council, would you read 7A, B, C, and D together as a package, please?
Yes. Item A, a resolution authorizing the interim assistant city treasurer to renew blanket purchase order number 558855 with Fidelity Information Services LLC FIS to provide merchant card services for the city of Chattanooga for 1 year, beginning September 1, 2021, for a 1-year extension for an amount not to exceed $50,000. Item B, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to execute the consent to assignment for all purchase orders for vendor number 171037 Santet Waste Services, Inc. to Capital Waste Services relative to resolution number 30770 landfill disposal of biosolid waste. Item C, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into a termination of grant agreement with the Recycling Partnership, Inc. upon written notice dated July 11, 2021, with reference to resolution number 29840 dated March 12, 2019, and as amended with reference to resolution number 30057 dated August 27, 2019, to make final payment in the amount of $90,000. Item D, a resolution authorizing Chattanooga Police Department along with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office to apply for and if awarded, accept a fiscal year 2021 Edward Berg Justice Assistance Grant, JAG, from the Department of Justice for a grant period beginning October 1, 2021 and ending September 30, 2025, for a purchase of training equipment to award a shared grant to the Chattanooga Police Department in the amount of $106,488 and to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $45,637 for a total amount not to exceed $152,125.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve items 7A, B, C, and D with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Coonrod? Councilman Burke?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs? Councilman Hester? Councilman Ledford? Councilwoman Hill? Vice Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Henderson?
Yes.
9 yeses.
Motion to approve items 7A, B, C, and D carries 9-0. Moving now to purchases. Julia, you want to come present the purchases this afternoon?
Good evening, council. We've got 4 purchases as well as 1 emergency purchase this evening. The first is from Parks Maintenance, Parks and Outdoors. This is the first of 2 renewal options for security guard services through SEI Incorporated. The vendor submitted a 3% price increase at renewal for a total annual cost estimate of $600,000. The second is from the Fleet Management Division of Public Works. The approval is needed to pay invoices in the amount of $27,626.24 for bulk diesel fuel from Jat Oil Incorporated due to contract expiration. The third is also from the Fleet Management Division of Public Works. This is the second and final renewal option for police interceptors and special service vehicles from Ford of Murfreesboro. Vendor has submitted a 6% price increase, but no additional funds are needed. The fourth and final purchase is from Facilities and Public Works. This is a 6-month contract to supply supplemental custodial services. 10 bids were requested and 4 were returned. The contract was awarded to Detail Experts for an annual estimated cost of $119,630,000.
Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. This one with Park Maintenance, Parks and Outdoor Security Guard Services, SCI. It says the first of 2 renewals. Can you explain that a little bit to me? If that was to be denied, what would they do?
So there was an initial contract and then they have 2 renewal options. This is the first option of those 2.
And it's
If
done,
if it's denied, we would just have no security.
and it's done those other 2 options, they'll be done every what?
So it's the first of 2. So the next renewal option would come back to council before that renewal option.
How long would that be?
1 year.
1 year?
Correct.
1 year. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Good, Councilman.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. Did something change that's requiring for them to have security, or have they used another agency before?
They've been using SEI for the last year. This is just coming back because there was a price increase at the renewal for the $600,000. There was a 3% price increase, which is the only reason why it's being brought back for this renewal.
Okay.
And that it's not a $600,000 increase, just a 3% increase, bringing the total annual spend to $600,000.
Councilwoman, did you ask if we could rebid it? We could. It's at the pleasure of the council. This is just, it's to note, it's not just for parks. This is citywide security. So we utilize the parks contract for citywide security. This includes security guard in the lobby of City Hall, security guards that council used to have out here, for some period of time, and any other city buildings, DRC included. So it is a citywide security contract. It is a 3% increase in pricing. If council's choice is to pull this from the purchases and deny it, then we would rebid it and bring it back to council with the lowest bid.
So,
You good, Councilwoman? Councilman Byrd?
thank you, Chair. I don't know about my other colleagues, but I hear a lot of bad information about SEI. Our parks are not being secured properly. And this company is just not doing a good job. And when I talk to constituents, when I'm at the parks, when I'm out, it's not up to par. And so I don't know how that would look, but I definitely am against this bid here with SEI. So I don't know how that would look. I guess just for me to deny it on my part right now. I don't know how my other colleagues feel with that one. So I would like to vote on that one separately. And Brent, that's just how I feel. I'm sorry. That's it.
Councilman, if you would like that item pulled out, we could always pull that one out separately.
Yes.
The only thing that I would say is we discussed this at 3:30 at our 3:30 agenda session. And this is me personally. I feel like it's appropriate time to bring it up at our 3:30 discussion so that if I have further questions, I have time between 3:30 and 6 to make some appropriate phone calls. I am now caught flat-footed. And so my initial response is I'm ready to go forward with it and vote for it, but and it's no reflection on how you feel. It's just a matter of the time and this being brought up at 3:30 instead of at 6 o'clock. But we can always pull this out separately if that's your desire. Okay. Sure. So council, we are going to pull the document link. Well, the security guard services out. So we will vote at this time on the remaining 3 items, the bulk diesel fuel, police interceptor, and the supplement custodial service we'll vote on at this time. Councilman Ledford. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve these 3 items of purchasing. Any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill. Councilman Ledford. Councilman Hester. Councilwoman Burrs.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley.
Yes.
Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes.
9 yeses.
Okay, motion to approve carries 9-0. Now we will entertain a motion on the Security Guard Services SEI Incorporated.
Move to deny.
We have a motion on the floor to deny with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Yes.
Councilman Hester. Councilman Ledford.
To deny. A yes is to deny.
Councilwoman Hill. Vice Chairman Smith. Chairman Henderson.
No,
That's 6 yeses.
I've got 6 yeses as well. So motion to deny carries 6-3. All right, Julia?
We do have one emergency purchase to read into the record for the Fleet Management Division of Public Works in the Police Department. This purchase is for an additional supplier to upfit police vehicles specifically for labor and wiring only. This is necessary expenditure to get new police vehicles in service and will allow the surplus of older units with very high maintenance costs. Will allow us to surplus older units with very high maintenance costs, excuse me. We currently have more than 90 new police vehicles waiting to be upfitted, and the current supplier does not have the staffing capacity to get these vehicles completed in a more timely manner. The supplier is Blue Line Solutions, and the total cost is $60,000. The emergency purchase was approved by the mayor's office on August 25th.
Any questions about the emergency purchase? Thank you, ma'am. Moving now to committee reports. Councilwoman Hill. Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Chairman. Planning and zoning, and all been waiting, will happen next Tuesday, September 7th, following our agenda session.
Councilman Hester. Do we have public parks and public works next week? Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Burrs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We finished our budget education process, both from the public and from within the city, and we're ready to take the first vote next week. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your leadership. Mr. Vice Chair. Councilwoman Dotley.
No report, but equity and community development will meet September the 14th.
Okay. Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. My assumption that we will be looking to have a public safety committee meeting on the 21st.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Thank you. Moving now to other business, we do have a couple of appointments that need to be made this afternoon. I think Councilwoman Dotley.
Yes, I would like to add Susan Gilmore to the Board of Zoning Appeals and appoint Stephen McKinney to the Board of Sign Appeals.
All right, thank you. Madam Clerk, you have those appointments?
I do.
All right, thank you. That concludes other business and all of our agenda items this afternoon. We now move to persons wishing to address the council this afternoon. As we always do, we take public comment at the end of each council meeting. So at this time, if there are any persons that have signed up on our Zoom, you could go ahead and raise your hand. If there's anyone here in the room that is present that would like to address the council this afternoon, if you have not spoken to us today, let me remind you that according to our rules, you can only address the council once in a council day. So if you have already addressed us this afternoon, you would not be able to do so at this time. Anyone in the building, in the audience that would like to address the council this afternoon, okay? All right, and I do see that we have one on Zoom, but I believe she did address this afternoon, correct? Okay. Anyone else on Zoom that has registered to speak, if you'd go ahead and raise your hand. I'm going to ask the attorney if she would to go ahead and read our rules.
If there's anyone who would like to address the council, stand at the podium or raise your hand on Zoom. Chairman Henderson will recognize you, and then you will have 3 minutes to speak about a topic that is within the legislative or quasi judicial purview of the council.
Good. All right, sir. Mr. IT, if you'd give us 3 minutes, our public comment time is 3 minutes. If you'd put 3 minutes on the clock, and you can start by giving us your name and your district number, please, sir.
All right. My name is Edward Curtis, and I'm from District 7. I want to thank the Department of Public Works and Mr. Stone for doing a wonderful job in my neighborhood and cleaning up the area, and removing the mattresses and taking care of my alley in the back of the houses and stuff like that. Thank you so much. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
All right, sir. And you've got 3 minutes.
Thank you, Council. I'm Monty Bell, the homeless journalist, the gray-haired fox. It's a rainy Tuesday. It's always raining on Tuesdays for City Council night. 727 East 11th Street, that encampment. I was told after trying to assess one of my encampers in the courts on last week that I have to have some form of a title within the City Council's purview. I looked that up. I have a phone that I have to babysit at least 4 to 8 hours each night, trying to have it charged just to make some calls that I may or may not be charged with harassment after my day is done. But I have to do that in order to stay in the purview of what's happening to my city, my county, and my state. It's a difficult process to come from anywhere to try to stay within the purview of the city and the county and its tricks, particularly when you have a state that avoids all communication that involves those who are down on the ground, down on their knees, looking up for justice and finding that there isn't any. So we've tried with ministers to come and assist us. We've tried with other politicians to come and assist us, and we haven't received any assistance whatsoever. But what we have received is a thuggish element that we don't have time tonight to discuss, but it has to be removed from my encampment. I have a young lady that I had requested from my district representative, a photograph that he took the only time that he came to that encampment, and I never received it on my phone. I doubt if I'll get it tonight. I have less than 7% of a charge on my phone that I've got to find somewhere, someplace, somehow to charge in order to make any calls on tomorrow. We've been neglected to the tune of forever and a day. And it's time that you all stop. Within the purview, yeah, I fall within the purview. And I want to say to you, for the record, that we do have an audio recording of a gentleman within the camp of Monty Buer that told us under no uncertain terms that Monty Bell, the homeless candidate for the city of Chattanooga's top job, the mayor, was targeted by Mayor Tim Kelly and this Monty Buer. And we're going to discuss this in length. We're going to play this recording. It's not anything that I asked for. Just like the sun on a rainy day, it just came through, and it's time. The city and the county, as of tonight, we understand that we all work together. So we can stop saying that we're separate and not equal, because it's not true. I'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council this afternoon that has not addressed us at this point? All right, council, I have not seen anyone on Zoom that is eligible to address this council. I'm not seeing anybody in the audience that wishes to address the council. What is